Characters. They come in all shapes and sizes, colors and creeds, but some of them stand out above the rest.
Yeah, baby!
What makes some characters more memorable to us for years to come? Hi, I'm William, and today I'm going to be talking about the creator of some of my favorite films and the master of memorable characters, Quentin Tarantino. He is most notably known for his stories of murder, crime, and revenge. But I am personally enthralled by his ability to create incredibly memorable and realistic characters. Most of his films revolve around a hero or a group of characters that genuinely feel real instead of a mere representation of reality. In most other films from other directors, this feeling of a character being alive is normally achieved through an elaborate backstory that takes place over multiple films in a series for it to be effective. However, Tarantino manages the same feeling with very little or occasionally no information of a character's past.
And I don't want any talk about yourself personally. That includes where you've been, your wife's name, where you might have done time, or a bank maybe you robbed in, say, Petersburg. All I want you guys to talk about, if you have to, is what you're gonna do.
For example, in the film *Inglourious Basterds*, we have the leader of a group of Nazi hunters, Aldo Raines.
Buongiorno.
We are supplied by a brief history of his time spent in the Appalachian Mountains, but nothing that fills in how he got to his current position of hunting Nazis in Germany. We can also see what appears to be a rope burn around his neck. This injury is never explained in the film. This gap in the character's history, combined with the obscure trait for the character's look, allows us to participate in the creation of the character. Now, we will inevitably remember this character because now we feel responsible for their creation. Quentin has stated that he creates his characters and lets them walk their own line. While yes, Tarantino does let the characters walk on their own, we take them to the next level of realism by inadvertently creating a subconscious backstory due to these gaps.
Well, gentlemen, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
This use of mise-en-scene constantly occurs in Tarantino's films, creating what initially feels like major plot holes. However, as the films progress, we realize that the overall story isn't tainted at all, but now we have to fill in the gap that is missing in the character's history. For instance, how did the bride from Kill Bill join the Deadly Viper Squad? Or how do we never learn her name in the first Kill Bill movie? Why does Hans Landa from *Inglourious Basterds* have such an elaborate pipe? How did Vincent Vega and Jules Winfield become hitmen in Pulp Fiction? These all go unanswered, but make us want to learn more about these characters so that we can have that connection. Characters from other blockbuster films could be asked the same question, but most have an origin story explained, or to put it bluntly, aren't interesting enough in their goals or life choices for us to really care about how they got there.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Nothing else matters, not the mortgage, not the store, not my team.
Traditional movies have the characters constantly speaking in order to keep the audience interested. This makes for an entertaining movie, but the characters aren't memorable. This is why Seth Rogen is always Seth Rogen. However, Tarantino characters are allowed time to breathe in a scene, to respond as a normal unscripted human might in the same scenario. These actors are then able to actually show emotion without a constant stream of dialogue spelling out the plot for the audience. This use of time leads to longer shots and verbal pauses as we see the character actually thinking. Therefore, realism is added, as we believe the thought process is happening right before our eyes, and a genuine idea is being brought to light.
Yes.
Point out to me the areas where they're hiding.
So going forward, take note of the pauses in film and character traits that lack explanation. Traditional media would tell us that dead air or silence results in an awkward circumstance. But think about life in general. People are not in a never-ending conversation every time you see them. However, they are always reacting. The extended time of a thought-out conversation on film adds extra time with that character, especially if we are left with time to watch them and try to figure out what motivates them. I'm William Young, and
I think this just might be my masterpiece.